It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this May the 23rd, 2022, coming to you from Forest, Virginia, Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area. Welcome back to a new week here for Travel and Cruise Industry News. One brief little caveat, note, whatever you want to call it. Tomorrow's show on Tuesday, that'll be the 24th of May, the show will not be live. It's going to be taped, and it will go live at 11 o'clock like normal. I will try to get the links around to everybody. I had an oncology appointment tomorrow afternoon, and this is one of the important ones in the year. And they called and said they had to move me to in the morning. So when I'm supposed to be doing the show, I'm going to be with the oncologist. So that's tomorrow, but the show will still go on as scheduled. It's just that I won't be live. So I won't be in the chat room, for instance, after the show's over with. All right. Today, National Turtle Day. So today we're going to honor Tina Turtle. That's Tina Turtle back there. By the way, you guys know my niece was the artist on Tina Turtle, and she's just had a different painting, of course, accepted in a museum, which is awesome. But anyway, just point that one out. So Tina Turtle's painter is now going to be a museum artist. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, today's National Turtle Day, so we're going to honor Tina Turtle all day today. We do have some cruise ships sailing today on this, the 23rd of May. Up in Boston, we got the American Constitution, Bayonne, the Celebrity Summit, Charleston, the Carnival Sunshine, Port Canaveral, Carnival Liberty, Disney Dream, Independence of the Seas, Carnival Freedom, and Mariner of the Seas. Down in Miami, we got the Freedom of the Seas and the Carnival Conquest. Over in Mobile, the Carnival Ecstasy, Galveston, Grandeur of the Seas, and the Carnival Breeze. Los Angeles, Long Beach, the Carnival Radiance. Los Angeles, San Pedro, Navigator of the Seas. Oh, I love that ship. Seattle, Quantum of the Seas that I just got off of last. Also, the new Amsterdam land package starts today in Seattle. And the American Constellation sails from Seattle. Vancouver, the Disney Wonder sails, and the Viking Orion. Anchorage, the Norwegian Jewel, and the Radiance of the Seas land package. The Koningsdam lands package, and the Majestic Princess lands package all get underway in Anchorage. And in Fairbanks, the Radiance of the Seas land package and the Majestic Princess land package gets underway. Today's headlines: Royal Caribbean extends their protocols. NCL to open up all youth programs. Carnival adds bandwidths. That's going to affect the crew. Former Genting CEO making a comeback. We're going to talk about this one because I am so opposed. Carnival joins Net Zero Future Development Program and a whole lot more here at 11 o'clock on Travel and Cruise Industry News. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard, of course. You can always access the podcast immediately following this program on my blog, accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big hitters: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, all the big guys. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and guess what? The old fat guy will pop up. I will make a mention again in collaboration with Shelby over at travelfun.biz and Cruises for Solos. Chillie's Cruises has a group cruise coming up in December on the Norwegian Encore. I will be hosting that cruise. It stops in Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, my favorite island, Tortola in the British Virgin Islands, and Great Stirrup Key in the Bahamas. So, anyway, just wanted to let everybody know about tomorrow that the show will be pre-recorded. Sorry about that. But that one was one I had absolutely no control over. All right. I'll be back with today's news right after a word from one of our network sponsors. And on with today's news. Over the weekend, the health and safety protocols that are in place on board Royal Caribbean's cruise ships sailing from U.S. home ports have been extended through the summer. A lot of people were hoping that they were going to get some major changes. That didn't happen. Not yet. One significant change was for me at least, I'll mention here in a second. The protocols were due to expire on June the 30th, but the cruise line chose to give guests a clear idea of what to expect during the summer cruises this year. So the protocols have been extended through September 30th. At the same time, Royal Caribbean also extended the protocols for European cruises, which will now be in place through June the 30th. Now, here's what was changed. If you do a back-to-back on a Royal Caribbean cruise, the way it has been is that after cruise number 1, you had to get off the ship. You could leave your stuff in your cabin, but you had to disembark the ship, go through customs, and get back on the ship. You also had to have the test done. Usually it was done by Royal Caribbean the day before, as opposed to 2 days before. But you had to have another PCR test. And then you just, you left the ship, turned around, came right back on as soon as you went through customs. In some places that had the photo recognition software, you walked off the ship, walked up to the camera, they snapped your pictures, compared it to the computer, and you turned around and walked back on the ship. You were there 7 seconds. Well, last week that changed on Royal Caribbean. No longer are they requiring the test between cruise 1 and cruise 2 if you're doing a back-to-back. No longer do you have to get off the ship and go through customs. You simply have to check in at a designed place. And they do it on the ship. They check your picture against the software that they have in place. It's so much simpler. Takes so much less time. So a good, sensible thing that Royal Caribbean has implemented. Now, to my knowledge, nobody else has implemented this yet. None of the other cruise lines. But Royal Caribbean did it last week. I've talked to several people now on board back-to-backs on Royal Caribbean ships, and it was all the same. So that's an improvement. All right, those of you that are sailing on Norwegian cruise lines this summer will be pleased to find that all youth programs will be open and welcoming for younger cruisers. The announcement comes as many cruise lines are still struggling with staffing issues particularly as the busy summer season begins. Norwegian is confident the youth staffing will be up to the challenge. According to Travel Weekly, Norwegian Cruise Line President and CEO Harry Sumner discussing the reopening of the youth programs during a recent media chat aboard Pride of America out in Honolulu. Sumner indicated that the programs, which have been more limited and even closed on some ships, will be fully staffed and open by June the 1st. That's what the man says. I have a feeling some people are going to say, well, how are they going to do that if everybody else is struggling to get their crew back? But anyway, Norwegian feels that they're going to do it. So that's what the promise is. Amidst the issues that most cruise lines are experiencing with crew shortages, Carnival is trying its best to make life a little easier for the crew when it comes to communications. Carnival is increasing the bandwidth available for the team members on board and will start offering crew members complimentary WhatsApp messaging. While Carnival Cruise Line is going in the right direction by increasing bandwidth and offering free WhatsApp, it's not to say that there are not room for further improvements. Several cruise lines offer crew members free internet while on board. With the internet having become a basic need for many, there's no surprise that some companies have made this choice. Currently, from what I've been able to gather, Virgin, Viking, Margaritaville at Sea, and AIDA all offer cruise members free internet. The internet is always free of charge for the first two, while AIDA, or first three rather, first three cruise lines, while AIDA offers crew members 500 megabytes free per month. Carnival need to get on with the program here and make it free to your people. All cruise lines should do that. I mean, these guys, they sacrifice a lot for what they do. Yes, it's a job. Yes, they get paid. I understand all that. They're also gone from home and their families for months at a time to serve all of us and the cruise lines as well. So come on, cruise lines, give them a break, give them a little help. It's not going to cost you anything to let them have Wi-Fi for free, for heaven's sakes. This is the one that really had me angry. Again, every time I've read about it, I get angrier. Cruising in Asia is making a comeback, as is the former CEO of Genting Cruises, a new cruise line owned by Malaysian billionaire Lim Kok Thay. Will start operations on June the 15th, sailing from the home port in Singapore. Genting Dream will offer guests 2- and 3-day cruises. The news is somewhat controversial after Lim Kok Thay left Genting Hong Kong after the company was forced to cease operations due to financial issues, which caused luxury cruise line Crystal Cruises to dissolve. You also remember they cruise builder in Germany went bankrupt because of them. You had people that had paid for cruises on Crystals that still haven't gotten their money back. In March, Lim Kok Thay registered a new business in Singapore, which announced it would be launching a new cruise line, Resort World Cruises. The new cruise line will set sail from its own port, Singapore, on June the 15th, operating Dream Cruises ship Genting Dream. The company is leasing the vessel from a consortium of banks that now own the assets of the collapsed cruise company, The cruise line is already taking bookings for the cruises to nowhere from June 15th. The company also announced plans to start opening cruises to Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia starting in September. Since the global pause of operation, it would be the first cruise line to begin operating longer cruises from ports of call in Asia. There is some good news for those guests who had booked a cruise on board World Dream, sailing from Singapore between March 2nd and August 31st. They will at least receive a complimentary cruise credit for the amount they paid for the voyage if they have not already received a refund. While the new cruise line is not named the same, it has many of the same management as Genting Hong Kong, the company responsible for the demise of Crystal Cruises. Resorts World Cruises is owned by Two Trees Family, which is a brand of Resorts World. Resorts World is owned by former owner CEO of Genting Hong Kong, Lim Kok Thay. Michael Goh, the president and head of international sales of Resorts World Cruises, is the former president of Dream Cruises and head of global sales of Genting Cruise Lines. Now, in my humble opinion, both of these turkeys should be in prison. And why the people that are supposedly handling the redoing of trying to salvage something from this mess, financial disaster that these two turkeys caused, why would they turn around and give the cruise ship back to the same people just because they've got a different name? I promise you one thing, folks, I will never sail ever on any ship that is owned or managed by either one of those turkeys. And if you do, you're doing it at your own risk. Like I say, I think they should be in prison. That's it for the news, folks. Let's go see if anybody's fussing at me today. Probably so. Nikki's with us. Gretchen's with us. Hi, y'all. Nikki says, Gretchen, hope you're feeling better. Still no voice, otherwise feeling great. No voice. Hubby probably likes that, huh, Gretchen? I'm teasing. It's because I got on my high horse this morning. Carol's with us. Hi, Carol. Samuel S. I'm not sure I know who Samuel S. is, but hello, Samuel S. Glad to have you on board. Amy's here. Hi, Amy. Gretchen at least found a little humor in my sickness. All right. So you all know about tomorrow. There will be no live show tomorrow. I'm going to be the oncologist. We got to retest a bunch of things. And then I got to get stuck in the butt my once every 6 months shot of Lupron. Which, I mean, I don't care as long as it keeps me alive and going. So that's what's going to happen tomorrow. But I will be doing the show. I will tape it in the morning, set it to go live at 11 o'clock. I will post the link in the group on the Facebook group that I started, which has most of you guys in it that are on Facebook. I will post it in all the places where I normally advertise the show, the groups and the various Facebook pages and all that. And so at 11 o'clock, all you have to do instead of going on a live broadcast, you just, it'll be live. It'll be online at 11 and you can just listen like normal. You just won't be able to chat tomorrow. Sorry about that. So, is your pool open yet? Nikki wants to know. The pool is, yes, it is. However, I have not been out there to check on how clean it is. The guys have not been here since I got home, but they did get it open while I was gone, as far as taking the cover off and so forth. Like I say, I don't know if it's been tested and it's ready to get in yet. Of course, the water's going to be too damn cold for me, probably for another month. Yeah, we had 3 days of 90 degrees. And now it's, I think tomorrow the high is going to be 58 or something stupid. So even, that 3 days would start warming the water up nicely. 3 days in the 90s. But then you just lost it all when it's going to go down in the 50s at night. So no, we're not ready to start swimming yet. At least not for me. I'm a sissy. I'm not getting in that cold water. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. I would apologize for going on such a rant, but I'm angry at those people. That's just, to me, you don't give it back to the same people that screwed you the first time. Anyway. All right, guys. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. The show will be on tomorrow at 11, as normal. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. I'll see y'all next time. As usual, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all meet on the high seas. This is the old fat travel guy. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.